Okay, we are online. Welcome everybody to 15 Minutes with Fit 2.0. We are talking about non-traditional fitness this week, and we have Jen and me today. You haven't met Jen yet, so I'm going to let her introduce herself. Jen?
Hi everybody, I'm Jen Lam. I'm one of the Fit 2.0 leaders. A little bit about me first. I live in the Canadian Arctic. It's a little bit of an extreme place to live, but at the same time, it's absolutely amazing and spectacular. I'm definitely experiencing certain challenges up here, but I'm facing them with a lot of, zeal and just a lot of curiosity and a lot of fun. I'm part of a bit of an initiative to get the community moving, and that's my big thing up here, is just to make movement and exercise accessible to everybody. And I don't know if you want to. Oh.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties here. My dog is making a lot of noise, so I tried to mute my microphone. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about the mayhem. I think he's done now, but you may hear some snorting as he looks all over his crate for more food. Thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
So today we're going to talk about non-traditional fitness, and if you read the description, we were tossing around ideas, and we were couldn't decide whether we wanted to talk about working out in like harsh winter weather or working out when you don't have access to a gym, or working out when you don't have equipment, or like if you're stuck inside and all you have is your own body, or you're trying to be really quiet and not disturb your upstairs or downstairs neighbors, or if you're recovering from an injury, or maybe you don't have use of your legs if you're in a wheelchair, or you have an upper body injury and you can only work out your lower body. So we had all these ideas of non-traditional fitness, and we decided instead of picking one, we would try to cram all these different ideas into one 15-minute show. We may not be able to do it. If not, we'll have a series. But yeah, so Jen is the winter weather queen. So we're going to start with her because she lives in the Arctic. Yeah, she lives in the Arctic, you guys. So we're going to start with her, and she's going to talk about, how she got into this. And yeah, I'm going to, pass the microphone over to her. She's going to talk to us. Go for it, Jen.
Okay. So I want to start off and talk a little bit about kind of the thinking behind and the shift in thinking that I had to get to this place. So I used to have what a lot of people I think have is an all or nothing mentality towards working out. It was, you either have to work, you have to do, X workout, a certain number of times a week at a certain intensity, or else it's just not going to be worth it. Like, why bother? I think a lot of this kind of fit into this thinking that if you did that workout that number of times a week, something magical would happen, right? All of a sudden abs would start popping out and, you'd be all ripped. And this all or nothing mentality is very absolute and it's very rigid. And with it came with a lot of, I think, baggage, a lot of shame, a lot of kind of guilt. And it also undermines health on a mental and physical level. And so as I moved away from that and I moved towards a more adaptive and flexible way of approach to health and to fitness, and in that, just becoming more aware of the reality that I lived in, and the reality also of the sort of tools and the resources that I had. So for me, as Amber pointed out, I live in the Arctic, so cold isn't necessarily a deterrent for me. We're out there, when right now it's like minus 26 Celsius. We just had a really fun community dog walk this afternoon. And I'm usually out there even when it's like -40. I have to walk. I've got 2 high energy dogs that will tear apart my house if I don't walk. So I have to walk. And for me, I think one of the things that does disrupt my routine is when I'm on the road. So, and in the past, my former sort of mentality of all or nothing, any break in my routine would cause anxiety, because there would all of a sudden be a sense of worry of how am I going to maintain my workout schedule when I don't have my gym right there. So when I go on the road in the past, I would, spend hours on the internet looking for all the nearby gyms that I could access, from my hotel room. And I would go out of my way to, figure out a workout schedule and wake up absurd hours in the morning in order to fit that workout in. And, in the end of the day, it caused me a lot of stress, and it was quite frankly unnecessary. Now when I'm on the road, and I'm on the road at least, a week or so a month. So I've come to recognize that this disruption in my routine actually is part of my routine. And I'm recognizing the reality that I may be in some places I have access to a hotel gym that, is not the same as my own gym. And it doesn't, it's not full of barbells and heavy weights, but there's certain amount of working out I can do even with those tools. And there's other times when I'm in a situation where I don't even have a hotel room, and outside there's polar bears and rabid foxes. So even walking, I know, walking can be a bit of an issue. So what I do a lot is I do a lot of hotel room workouts, and I kind of started doing this. I got hold of a really cool app. You can get it on iTunes. It's Mark Lauren's You Are Your Own Gym. And he does a really good job breaking down body weight exercises for various levels of ability and fitness. And also, he also includes a whole lot of varieties. So when we talk about body weight work, talking push-ups, let-me-ups, different squats, hip thrusts, and planks. And he breaks them up to the upper and lower body and your complete body. And so what I usually do is I do a nice tight circuit where I'll do push-ups, then I'll do squats, then I'll do some let-me-ups with a sturdy table in my hotel room, and then I'll end it off with some plyometrics, tuck jumps and whatnot, and then a 30-second plank, and then I'll do another set. And depending on how much time I have, sometimes it's just, a matter of getting in there and, just pushing out a couple of sets of 10. And other times I'll mix it up and do a pyramid sets from 1 to 10 and back down to 1. Sometimes in the middle of it all, I'll just blast on some music and throw in some dance moves just to keep it interesting for myself. And so for me, it's been a great way to be able to kind of utilize what seemingly looks like, not much, a hotel room, and be able to utilize what I have and recognize that, no, I'm not going to be, it's not the same as deadlifting, whatever amounts that I would be doing in the gym, but it's something. And that is, and for me, it's about maintaining that habit of movement each and every day when I'm on the road. So for me, that's been a really good sort of way of kind of continuing on my habit of moving every day and allowing myself, to just kind of accept the reality that I'm not going to be able to maintain my workout schedule. And I shouldn't have to expect that of myself, right? There's so much more out there to do than just that, right? And even when I'm at home, sometimes I, for whatever reason, life gets filled. I just looked at my day planner the other day and almost cried because there's just so much filling in my hours that, recognizing that, okay, all I'm going to be able to do is get in my daily walks, and maybe I swing the kettlebell for a couple of times a week. And
Right.
That's all I should expect of myself. That's all I can realistically do and be able to sustain that habit from day in, day out.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, that Mark Lauren, I have his book. I I mean, I've had it for years, since before apps became a big thing. I really like what he's done, what he's created, the You Are Your Own Gym movement, because before I had a gym, he kind of opened my mind to the possibility of getting a workout without needing to go to the gym. Like, oh, I don't need a gym to get in shape. A gym makes it much more convenient because everything is there in one place. But you don't need a gym to get in shape, and not everybody has access to a gym. That's the reality. Those of us who do are very lucky. And so one of the things that we wanted to talk about today was how do you get in shape when you don't have access to a gym? And there are a lot of people who don't. When I first started getting into exercise, I did have access to a gym, but I felt like getting fit was enormously daunting. The 150 minutes a week that was recommended was far more than I was capable of, and I therefore felt like I shouldn't even try, because there was no way I could do 150 minutes a week of moderate to vigorous exercise. I just couldn't. I wasn't physically capable of it. I wasn't fit enough to do that, and it felt so defeating. But at some point, I realized I don't have to do it today. I can work up to that. But until I came to that realization, I was so discouraged that I didn't even start. And I think a lot of people exist in that discouragement and don't start because of it. So getting the message out that you don't have to do 150 minutes starting today. You can do 5 minutes starting today, and that is just as valuable, because if 5 minutes is all you can do, that's freaking awesome that you did 5 minutes, because you did all you could do. So do 5 minutes, and that's just as valuable. That is so valuable. Do that 5 minutes, and if all you can do for 5 minutes is sit in your chair and wave your arms around, then do that, because if that is hard for you, then you're pushing yourself and you're exerting yourself and you're getting a hard workout and you're getting your heart rate up and you're sweating. That is a hard workout. That is an awesome workout. So I'm getting ahead of myself, because one of the things I'm going to talk about is workouts you can do sitting in a chair. But before I get to that, I wanted to talk about my surgery, which I had, gosh, it's been 5 months now, which is amazing to me because I'm still recovering. I am not fully recovered. I am bouncing back so slowly from this surgery. It is painful to me. This whole being over 40 thing is just not fun. But anyway, immediately after the surgery, I had to be seated or lying down for quite some time. And of course, the first week or so, I couldn't do anything. I was all hopped up on pain meds, and there was no way I was doing anything. But after that, I needed to get my heart rate up. I needed to do something just to feel sane. So what I did was workouts sitting down, and they involved a lot of waving my arms around and, you know, punching the air and stuff like that, because I couldn't do anything with my lower body yet. And I found some really good websites. I found one of my favorite was helpguide.org, I think it was. I've already put them in the description box below the video. So if you're watching right now live, you can just scroll down and see. I've put four websites that I liked in the description box. Helpguide.org, there was a Living with Diabetes one. A lot of them are kind of geared towards either older people or people who are living with a disability or a illness. But there's a lot of tips. There's a lot of workouts. There's about.com is in there. I love about.com. They've got the calorie count is one of the websites associated with about.com. And that was, calorie count was the one that I used to track my diet when I was losing weight. And I've always had a soft spot for calorie count and about.com in general. But there's some actual workouts, and there's also just a lot of information about how to get active when you are physically unable to do something. There's, you have a barrier to being physically active in a traditional way. So for me, those first few weeks, even the first few month and a half, I was doing a lot of stuff sitting down. And at first it was just upper body, but then I started doing some lower body stuff too, down, which was not putting a weight on my knee, but being able to, like, do circles with my legs and some stretches and stuff. So there are a lot of things you can do.
Sorry.
And then there are gyms that have equipment for people in wheelchairs or who have injuries. They have hand cycles, which are boring, but all cardio machines are pretty boring. So you bring your music or your iPad and watch your videos or whatever, just like with the foot cycle or whatever. But it's something to get your heart rate up and to get that cardio exercise. There are gyms that have equipment that is for people with disabilities. Also gyms that have pools. Like the YMCA in your local YMCA is your best bet for finding programs for people who need special accommodations. But there are other gyms that might have programs as well. So look around, see if you can find a gym that has programs. And I also wanted to touch on people who are obese. It can be super intimidating to walk into a gym when you're obese, to walk into a room full of fit people and, feel like everybody's staring at you. Been there. It is not easy. In fact, it is so hard sometimes that you don't do it. Also been there for many, many years. So that is such a barrier for a lot of us that we don't even start, because who wants to be stared at? Who wants to feel like people are, laughing at you behind your back, making comments? And in a traditional gym setting, that's pretty much, you can guarantee that is happening. Although I feel like there are more and more gyms that are aware of that, are making space for people who are obese, who are making equipment that is sized for people who are obese. Because let's be honest, people who are obese just don't fit some traditional fitness equipment. Programs for people who are obese. Special training for the staff, because a lot of fitness trainers and group exercise instructors are really insensitive to people who are obese or overweight. I am shocked sometimes at the things I hear them say. Even people at the Y that I work at, I'm shocked at some of the things I hear my colleagues say. It's better at the Y than other places, but sometimes I just want to. I'm not even gonna get into it. My Y is a lot better than most other places. But yeah, the staff even can be insensitive. So I know how that can be, and I feel like more and more gyms are starting to make some changes. Thank God for gyms like Michelle's Surf City Fit Club. I think she's really kind of leading the charge and teaching other gyms how to do this right. The Y also, the Y in general, its mission statement has been to be accessible to everyone, including people who have bodies that don't fit into the traditional fit aesthetic. And so the Y is the most likely chain where you're going to find programs that are welcoming and staff that is welcoming. But even the Y has a way to go, especially when on an individual level. But the Y, it's better than most, still not perfect, but better than most. But you can find places out there, and I think especially Michelle with the Body Positive Fitness Alliance is starting to make some inroads, and we're going to see some positive movement forward. But yeah, there's ways to be active in your home, even with no equipment. Again, look into the description bar. I've listed some websites. exrx.net is one of my favorite websites for learning exercises, for learning form. They have videos for all the exercises. They, real simple explanations for things, layman's terms. They've got workouts. It looks like I'm talking for too long. We're starting to run out of time. And you're being so patient, Jen. I guess maybe we should have made this a series. xrx.net, and let's see. I'm going to turn it over to Jen, see if you have anything else you want to add.
Okay, so yeah, no, I just want to kind of come back to that. It's not even about, whatever performance goals you have or may think you want to attain. It's about building, the goal is to actually build that habit. So it's a matter of just,
Yes.
I mean, even just putting on your running shoes is a goal.
Yes.
Right? Making the plan to actually, okay, I'm going to parcel out 10 minutes today where I'm just going to walk around the block. That's it, right? And just getting yourself to that space of thinking, I'm going to move my body. For many people, that itself is the goal.
Yes.
So, we're not doing a marathon. We're just taking that next step, right? So I think for a lot of people, just getting their heads around that, because it's so daunting when you're like faced with like all these messages of what you're supposed to be able to do. Apparently, we're all supposed to be Navy SEALs, and we're not. We're not Navy SEALs.
You don't have to be a Navy SEAL tomorrow.
No.
Walk around your block tomorrow.
No, just walk around your block, or even just like, as Amber said, just for some people, it is a matter of very basic, simple movements, but movements that you're not doing right now. So just doing a few more, right? And getting into that space of mind to do it not only today, I've done it today, and then thinking, I'm going to do this again tomorrow, right? And it's that next step. I think for a lot of people, just building up that practice of habit takes time.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people find that, yes, you'll do it for a couple of, times and do it maybe a week or two, and then something's going to come up and you fall off that habit.
Right.
And then it's just getting back onto that track and trying to figure out, okay, well, maybe, for whatever reason, whatever time you've chosen to do it isn't working out for you, and being adaptive and flexible and recognizing, yes, okay, I don't have to wake up 5:30 in the morning in order to get some movement in my life, right? I can parcel out 10 minutes in my lunch hour, right, to just simply walk up the steps and just take my time to walk up the steps in my office building, right? And that's all you got to do. That's where you start. And then from then on, you build upon that, and it becomes a part of your life, becomes part of your habit of movement. So it isn't, we're not Navy SEALs. No one's forcing you to run a marathon from the get-go. But it's just recognizing of what you're able to do now.
In the beginning, make it easy. Pick something easy that you can do, and build a habit on something easy that you can absolutely do, like walk around your block, if that's easy. If that's too hard, walk to your corner and back. If that's too hard, do some arm circles in a chair. If that's too hard, pick something even easier. Pick something that is easier, that is easy, that you know you can accomplish, and build a habit using that. It doesn't have to be hard in the beginning, because in the beginning, making the habit is what's important.
Yeah.
When I was just getting started, getting to the gym was my habit and what I focused on. Some days I didn't even exercise. Some days I sat in the jacuzzi. And I have been saying this for years, and I've had so many people tell me that that is what stuck with them, that some days I didn't even exercise. Some days I sat in the jacuzzi. But getting there was what I focused on. And one day, it wasn't hard for me to get there. One day, getting there was just part of my routine. And then it was kind of smooth sailing from there on. Once I was in the habit of getting there, I was already there, and working out wasn't a big deal. But I had to build that habit of getting there. That was my easy thing that I chose. But that doesn't have to be your easy thing. Your easy thing can be putting on your shoes or, walking around the block. Pick something to make a habit of, and pick something that you know you can do, and make that a habit. And once you've established that habit, then you can build upon it. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So we are way over. This is way past 15 minutes. So we apologize. We will rein it in and try to keep ourselves under control next time. Thank you very much, Jen, for joining us. Joining us. Thank you. You are us. We are Fit Point.
We are.
Thank you for joining me today and the awesome show. And thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to join the mailing list so you know when the shows are going to be and what we're going to be talking about. So if you have something you want us to mention or answer or explain during the show, we can try to do that. And there's something else. Give us a like. Leave a comment. Even if it's, you suck. Leave a comment because it helps with visibility and we can reach more people. So any interaction you can give us with these videos means that we get more visibility, we reach more people, the message of Fit.0 grows, and more people are exposed to sanity and a healthy perspective on fitness. So thank you for all of your support. Jen?
Thank you, everybody. Sorry, my voice.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.